Significant development in the IPL. Zaheer Khan has parted ways with Lucknow Super Giants barely a year after starting what was meant to be a 2 year contract. So, Lucknow, now without their team mentor, Nagraj Gollapudi joins us on Newsroom to break down this news that he has already broken to the world. Nagraj, seems strange. A big ticket appointment, meant to be 2 seasons, and they've parted ways. What's happened here?
Yeah, it was actually the surprise came to me when I heard it for the first time uh, around June or something when the
Mhm.
murmur started, and I was like, why? I mean, this is a big name Indian. You're in Zach, you have appointed just recently, which was last August or something. LSG have appointed him as mentor, given him full charge. And so, what happened? Okay, fine. Is this performance based? Was there a review? And I found out that there was actually no review as such, a season's review, which is the norm. Possibly it might have happened informally with individuals, but whether it happened on board. So it just came as a surprise to an extent that the timing of the news when it started emerging, and then you realize when you start digging into it, you start thinking, okay, now you know why it is, and the key reason I've been told, and I've tried to confirm with as many people as possible, is that the vision that Zach
Mm.
had as the head of the captain of the ship in his role as a mentor was not possibly bought by everybody on board, including head coach Justin Langer, as well as I think the owner Sanjeev Goenka, who, despite maybe having not interfered as such on any everyday things, probably was involved, heavily involved at the same time. So clearly, when probably Zach realized that he was not on the same page as two key members of the leadership group, I think he was forced to then decide for himself, and at this time, we will need to say it as a personal decision that he decided to quit.
Yeah, I mean, the murmurs of discontentment and discord had started coming up during the IPL season as well, and it is important to point out that it was not the best of seasons for LSG. In fact, a season of two halves, which started really well and then just fell off a cliff, and there were a lot of murmurs going on then. But what does it tell about just the overall sense of planning? Because as recently as August 2024, when he comes on board and is given the responsibility publicly of scouting, planning, and strategy, for then to it not align, what does that tell us about what's happening at LSG?
I think the lesson we draw from, and this is the second big name that has been dropped or who has decided to leave. Remember, recently in the last month, we also had the news that Rahul Dravid was moving away
Hmm.
from Rajasthan Royals, which a franchise he has always called home. So, and where he was, so this clearly says one thing. At least with LSG, I can say that is the role clarity becomes very very important, and that's possibly one of the lessons. Now, what was the role, whether the role clarity was given between Zach and Langer, how they would distribute it, and whether who will do the on-field duties or the coaching duties or the training things and etc., that you and me cannot possibly say confirm for sure. But I see probably that's one reason this has happened, this what happened. Remember that the same franchise had two big individuals in their first two seasons, 2022 and 23, and the franchise made LSG made the playoffs in both these seasons. What was it? Finishing third in 22 and finishing losing in the eliminator a year
Yeah.
later. And those two individuals we're talking about is Gautam Gambhir and Andy Flower. Now, Andy Flower, we don't need to. He is one of the most popular, successful, big name coaches in across cricket, not just T20 circuit. He was the assistant to Gambhir, who was appointed as mentor at that point. But from what I understand, there was a very good understanding between the two individuals, and it was at a very mature level that fine, Andy will do the lines were demarcated right from the beginning between the two individuals without having being spelt out to them apparently, and it worked out well. Both those individuals go to a different franchise, and both, namely KKR in Gambhir's case and or RCB in Flask's case, and both of them end up winning the title. So LSG might be doing picking the right individuals, but in this case, in Zach and Langer's case, possibly, uh, probably somewhere it was not explained to them who takes those final calls. And the differences started emerging during the season. This is something that I forgot to say, that during the season, there were more than murmurs when, especially the second half, if you remember, when LSG started losing, there was a
Hmm.
wide chasm between these two individuals, apparently. And it was
Yeah.
well observed by the players as well as the rest of the people, including the opponents.
Right. So it is quite unfortunate because, as you rightly point out, Lucknow, as a new franchise, made a strong start in the IPL. Both them and Gujarat Titans had two strong seasons to begin, but it's been on uh, the downhill for LSG the last two seasons. Uh, any word around the future of Justin Langer? Is it secure?
Uh, Not officially, no confirmation officially, but understood information, he will stay. And I think he will stay as the head coach. And probably that might have made Zach take that call.
All right. So we will leave it there for now. I'm pretty sure this is not the last of the developments as far as this franchise goes between now and forget the IPL, even the auction. The auction is only a few months away. So Nagraj Gollapudi will have all of us covered with all the updates. Watch the space. Nagraj, thank you so much for your time. This was Newsroom.